Hello, it's Saturday, the 26th of December, and this is your daily devotion from the Greenbrier Valley Church of the Nazarene. We are reading from the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verses 1 through 8. Here's the word of the Lord. A prophecy concerning Nineveh, the book of the vision of Nahum the Echosite. The Lord's anger against Nineveh. The Lord is a jealous and avenging God. The Lord takes vengeance and is filled with wrath. The Lord takes vengeance on his foes and vents his wrath against his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger, but great in power. The Lord will not leave the guilty unpunished. His way is in the whirlwind and the storm, and clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebukes the seas and dries it up. He makes all the rivers run dry. Bashan and Carmel wither, and the blossoms of Lebanon fade. The mountains quake before him, and the hills melt away. The earth trembles at his presence, the world and all who live in it. Who can withstand his indignation? Who can endure his fierce anger? His wrath is poured out like fire. The rocks are shattered before him. The Lord is good, a refuge in times of trouble. He cares for those who trust in him. But with an overwhelming flood, he will make an end of Nineveh, and he will pursue his foes into the realm of darkness. And this is the word of the Lord. In an article titled, Our Refuge in Times of Trouble, Pastor Brad writes this. It was a study in contrasts. On one side were the people of Israel. Opposite them were the chariots of Egypt. Between the two was the presence of God, manifest as a pillar of cloud and fire. One side of the divide was darkness and gloom. The other side blazed with light, lit by the radiance of God's glory. Egypt was blinded. Israel could clearly see. The deciding difference was which side of the presence one was on. Centuries later, the prophet Nahum prophesied concerning Nineveh. He opens with a quote intended to remind his hearers of the Exodus and the covenant established at Sinai. Quoting from the Torah, he begins, "The Lord is a jealous God." He begins to describe what it is like to be on the wrong side of a avenging God who is slow to anger but great in power. Yet the same God whose way is whirlwind and storm, whose wrath is poured out like fire, is also a good God. Nahum tells us. He is a refuge in troubled times. The deciding difference? Which side one is on. In the hymn Abide With Me by Henry F. Light, abide with me, fast falls the eventide. The darkness deepens, Lord, with me abide. And in 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 5, we read, May the Lord direct your hearts into God's love and Christ's perseverance. Excuse me. This is the word of the Lord, and this is your daily devotion for Saturday, December the 26th. Have a blessed day.